one of my favorite subjects to talk about, and that is standards. Now, I'm talking about your standards for your health, your wealth, your relationships, whatever you want to call it, or I should say, whatever subject you want to attach it to. I'm talking about your standards. So, just a quick caveat, however you say that word. I'm not picking on any one group of people, but I'm just going to talk about my own experience, my own observation of where I see people where they quickly start to drop their standards for themselves. So I'll give you an example. And again, this is what I see all the time. I see two people who meet for the first time, two very healthy, health conscious people. They get together, they get married, and then already you start to see, a little bit of pounds start to kind of pack on. They have kids, they get busier, and then they have more pounds like they get packed on. Eventually, they get to the point where they're borderline obese. They stop caring about how they look and how they feel because in their minds, the kids come first, they come second. But what you've done though is you have lowered the standards for your health, my friend. And I know that so many of you have these alibis and say that, well, the reason for this is because, and then you fill in the blanks there. I'm going to challenge you on that and say that it sounds like a great story. And the reason why I say that is because I know so many people who have maintained their standards for their health, for their wealth, for their relationships. They do not allow themselves to go below a certain level. It's almost as though that there is an alarm that sounds when they start to go too low and then, believe it or not, even too high. And we'll talk about that later on. But for now, you want to be careful on not to let your guard down. And again, I'm talking about health. We can also talk about wealth as well. People do that, the same thing too, even when it comes to standards for relationships, let's say. I've seen this firsthand too, where you have somebody who's in their 20s and they're very picky. They have very high standards for who they date. By the time they get to be in their mid to upper 40s, early 50s, now your standards for who you want to date, it just kind of plummets. And you start to say to yourself, you know what, I'll take a warm body. And then you say, you know what, I'll take even a cold body because you're getting so desperate and you just keep on lowering your standards and then you're back into a dysfunctional relationship. Keep your standards high. And that's, I'm talking about, again, relationships, money, and health. And I know that some of you may think that it's impossible to keep them high. I challenge you on that because I see this all the time, not all the time. I see this with some of the people that I admire the most. Not only do they keep their standards for their health, wealth, and relationships high, they keep raising them little by little by little by little. They do different things. They challenge themselves. I've met couples that are in their 70s. They look better than most 30-year-olds, physically. I have relatives of mine that have been in relationships, meaning married, with kids and everything, with the same person for 30 some years, and they still act as though they just met. They're just giddy. They're very respectful to each other. And it is an extraordinary relationship. And I even know many, many people who, when it comes to their wealth, they set goals and they keep raising those standards every single year. It is possible for you to raise your standards. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So for now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please get a hold of me. Please comment down below. My name is Uriel Mesa and I'm with KTSLifeCoaching.com. And as always, it is a pleasure. Thank you.